Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की जय। बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। Okay, so we've been reading अध्याय 24 कल शुरू किया हमने and 24th अध्याय is how Krishna Bhagwan is convincing all the Brajvasis, including Nanda Baba, to really depend on the karmas and to do this Leela to bring down Indradev's ego. Bhagavan Krishna does this Leela and he's asking everyone, what are we preparing for? Why are all this preparation for? And he's asking them to not to do that. So we'll start with Shlok 14. अस्ति चेदेश्वराय कश्चित् फल रूपन्य कर्मणान् कर्तारं भजते सोऽपि न स्वीकर्तुः प्रभुर्हि सः. Even if there is some supreme controller who awards all others the results of their activities, he must also depend upon a performers engaging in activity. After all, there is no question of being the bestower of fruitive results unless fruitive activities have actually been performed. Kartaram bhajate soapi na rikratuha prabhuhi sa. Unless the good fruitive results are done, fruitive activities are done, then how can there be fruitive results is what Lord Shri Krishna is explaining to Nanda Baba. Here Lord Krishna argues that if there is a supreme controller, he must depend on a performer of activity to reciprocate with and must therefore also be subject to the laws of karma, being obliged to award happiness and distress to conditioned souls according to the laws of good and evil. Hare Krishna Shiva Prabhu. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही? Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, पढ़ोगे?
Sure. This superficial argument neglects the obvious point that the laws of nature that prescribe the good and bad results of pious and impious acts are themselves creations of the all good Supreme Lord. Being the creator and sustainer of these laws, the Lord is not subject to them. Furthermore, the Lord is not dependent on the work of the conditioned souls since he is satisfied and complete with himself. Out of his all merciful nature, he awards the results appropriate to our activities. That which we call destiny, fate, or karma is an elaborate and subtle system of rewards and punishments meant for gradually encouraging conditioned soul to evolve to the stage of perfect consciousness, which is their original constitutional nature. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has so dexterously formulated and applied the laws of material nature governing punishment and reward for human behavior that the living being is discouraged from sin and encouraged towards goodness without suffering any significant interference with his free will as an eternal soul. In contrast to the material nature, the Lord exhibits his essential nature in the spiritual world, where he reciprocates the eternal love of his pure devotees. Such loving affairs are based completely on the mutual freedom of the Lord and his devotees, not on a mechanical reciprocation of coinciding selfish interests. The Supreme Lord, assisted by his pure devotees, repeatedly offers the conditioned souls of this world the opportunity to give up this bizarre attempt at exploiting the material universe and go back home, back to Godhead, for an eternal life of bliss and knowledge. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So basically what is being mentioned is, first of all, that the karma, right? Karma is the system. But why this whole karma's reaction and fruitive nature of karma is there is because the God wants to encourage us, the conditioned souls, which are we conditioned souls, to evolve to the stage of perfect consciousness. Yeah. So doing the good karmas and then getting to the satogun and then going beyond that, getting to
Mhm.
perfect consciousness, because that is
Exactly.
the original constitutional nature, right?
Nature. Yeah.
And the same thing is again being said here, that where the assisted by his pure devotees, right? The big saints, they help conditioned souls of this world, give an opportunity to them to give up an attempt of exploiting this material universe and ultimately go back home, back to Godhead for an eternal life of bliss and knowledge.
No,
Hare
yes.
Krishna. Yeah. Read this. Kimindreneha bhutanam स्वे स्वे कर्म अनुवर्तीनाम अनिसेन्यान्तरा कर्तु स्वभावितं नृणाम. Living beings in this world are forced to experience the consequences of their own particular previous work. Since Lord Indra cannot in any way change the destiny of human beings, which is born of their own nature, why should people worship him? This is what Lord Shri Krishna is telling Nand Baba and everyone else, because they're all preparing to worship Lord Indra. Yeah, sure, bro.
Yeah. स्वभाव तंत्रो हि जनः स्वभाव मनुवर्तते स्वभाव स्थामिदं सर्वं सदैवासुर manusham. Every individual is under the control of his own conditioned nature, and thus he must follow that nature. This entire universe, with all its demons, and human beings, is based on the conditioned nature of the living entities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, right? The entire universe, which is those 14 loks in the materialistic world, which has data lok and everything, is ultimately conditioned. Yeah? Is what is mentioned. देहान्वचा जंतु है प्रायोत सृजति कर्मणा शत्रु मित्रम उदासीन है कर्मेव गुरुर ईश्वर. Because it is karma that causes the conditioned living entity to accept and then give up different high and low grade material bodies. This karma is his enemy, friend, and neutral witness, his spiritual master and controlling Lord. So, because it says Dehan no Uchavacha Jantu, like it's basically we accept different bodies, right, throughout the different life cycles based on karmas. This karma is mentioned as the enemy, friend, and neutral witness. Shatru, Mitra, Dasina hai. Is what is mentioned. It's a nice purport. Just read the
Mhm.
first. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the demigods are bound and limited by the laws of karma. That Indra himself is subordinate to the laws of karma is explicitly stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.54. Yastva Indra Kopam Atha Vandaram Aho Swa Karma Bandhu Anurupa Phala Bhajanam Atanoti. The Supreme Lord Govinda awards all creatures the appropriate results of their work. This is a true of mighty Indra, the Lord of the material heavens, as it is for the germ called Indragopa. The Bhagavad Gita 7.20 also state Kamais Taister Hrite Jnanaha Prapadante Naya Devataha. Only those who have lost their intelligence because of various material desires surrender unto demigods rather than worship the Supreme Lord. In fact, the demigods cannot award benefits to anyone independently, as stated by Lord Krishna in Gita, Maya eva vihitan hitan. All benefits are ultimately issued by the Lord Himself. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Basically, what is mentioned is the Lord in himself is also bound to the laws of karma.
Yes. Prabhuji, isn't it? This is very interesting. Like that you are not the only doer. There are five doers, they say, right? That whenever we do an action,
Mhm.
it has to be like there are five doers. One is like Krishna is the ultimate granter, permitter. Then
Mhm.
there is paristhiti. Then there is this body. Then there is the soul, the doer, like this. And all five, when they do, or ultimately when Krishna approves it,
Mhm.
then the result, whatever is the result, happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little complex, right? Because ultimately everything is like even our constitutional position is part of Lord Shri Krishna, right? And serving Lord Shri Krishna. And that's a soul. And then our soul is related to the Supreme Soul, right? Like Lord Vishnu, Kshuradakshai Vishnu, right? He is the super soul. And then we are the soul, and our soul is related to the super soul. But then we have the Suksham Sharir, right? Which is Man, Buddhi, and Ahankar, mind, intelligence, and ego. But then also as a conditioned soul, we are impacted by those three gunas, right? Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun.
Mm.
And those gunas are the ones which are causing all these fruitive activities, all these karmas which we are doing, which we think we are doing, of course. Ultimately, it's all Krishna is. This whole world is Krishna saying again and again, right? Like this whole world is generated from him, but he is not still attached to those gunas. So those
Yeah,
gunas are manifested by him. He is the one who is running everything. I mean, we just need to realize, like, how does it matter who is doing what at the end of the day, right?
yeah,
Lord Brahmaji created this universe based on Lord Krishna's knowledge he gave, right? He gave everything. So even the creation and destruction of everything is taking place based on what Supreme Lord is playing and trying to do, right? So I think that's true. I mean, we can do the science of who is doing what, right? But the thing is, we have our true nature of soul, which is independent, right? Which has some independent gestures which it wants to achieve, but it's still part and parcel of the super soul.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it has some independence and it does it decides to do whatever, and then it gets into entangled into karmas, and then everything else takes place.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. But you're right. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we think we are doing, but what are we really doing, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, it's very interesting. Everyone thinks like, oh, I'm doing this, and
Yeah.
next day you know that there is nothing existing. It's like,
Yeah,
but it's still, it's all conditioned souls
yeah,
surrounded by Maya, which is also uh,
yeah.
thrown by the Lord Himself. Right?
Mm, yeah. Like there are slokas in Bhagavad Gita. I don't
Hmm.
remember the quote, but the essence is 3 points. Like that,
Hmm.
Krishna is the ultimate controller.
Right,
Krishna never makes a mistake. It's not like, अरे ये तो गजेंद्र प्रभु के लिए था, ये शिवा प्रभु को कैसे मिल गया भाई, cross
right,
connection नहीं.
right,
And
right.
then Krishna is our ultimate, is the only true friend,
Hmm.
you know.
Correct.
No one is a well wisher more than Krishna. So yeah,
And actually,
मुझे yeah.
ultimately, if you also see, right, it's everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. See, Lord Krishna also says, he says in Bhagavad Gita, he says like samohitam sarvabhuteshu. Like samohitam is like he's same for sarvabhuteshu, for all the pranis.
Hmm.
Yeah. Samohitam sarvabhuteshu na dveshasti na priya. Neither he has irsha or against anyone, neither he is priya to anyone. He says that samohitam sarvabhuteshu na dvesti na priya. But then he says further, he says that that is true, right? Like even Raman and all these things, they are all same for me. But the one who does the devotion service, they are specifically priya to me. They are specifically
Yeah.
friend to me, right? So he says that himself in Bhagavad Gita. So
Hmm.
everybody is similar to him, irrespective of whatever karmas anyone is doing, good or bad or whatever. But then people who are in devotional service are especially loved by Lord Shri Krishna. I mean, that's what Lord Shri Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita. I think it's one of the shloks, 9.29 or one of those, right? Samohitam sarva bhuteshu. If you search for that,
Hmm.
it really says that, right?
Yes.
So,
Very
yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Did we read this? Yeah, you want to read?
आपको आपका आपका टर्न है प्रभु.
तस्मात् संपूजयेत कर्म स्वभावस्तः स्वकर्मकृत अज्जसा येन वर्तेत तदेवास्य हि देवतम्. Therefore, one should seriously worship work itself. A person should remain in the position corresponding to his nature and should perform his own duty. Indeed, that by which we may live nicely is really our worshipable deity. And that's what Lord Krishna is telling everyone like, hey, karma is important, and that's what everyone should be doing.
Mhm. आजीव्यक्तरम भावम यश यस्तवन्यमुपजीवति न तस्माद् विन्दते क्षेमं जार 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 जारान् नार्यसति यथा. If one thing is actually sustaining our life, but we take shelter of something else, how can we achieve any real benefit? We would be like an unfaithful woman. We would be like an unfaithful woman who can never achieve any actual benefit by consorting with her paramour. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Basically, Lord Krishna is saying that, do the karmas, don't worship anyone else.
Yep. Yep.
Vartet brahmana vipro rajanyo rakshaya bhuva veshastu vartaya jivechudrastu dvij sevya. The Brahman maintains his life by studying and teaching the Vedas. A member of the royal order by protecting the earth, the Vaishya by trade, and the Sudra by serving the higher twice born classes. So basically, what Lord Shri Krishna is saying is that all these different classes of human beings do their own karmas, and that's how they maintain their lives. And so, focus on your karmas and stop doing all this preparation which are doing to worship Lord Indra right now. That's what Lord Krishna is trying to play the Leela.
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mayur.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Krishna, I want to read.
Yeah. Krishna Vani Jaya Goraksha Kusindam Turyam Uchyata Varta Chatur Vidha Tatra Vayam Go Vrityo Nisham. The occupational duties of the Vaishya are conceived in four divisions: farming, commerce, cow protection, and money lending. Out of these, we as a community are always engaged in cow protection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is what Lord Shri Krishna is telling to Nanda Baba and all the Gopas.
Yes.
Shiva Prabhu.
Satvam rajastam iti sthit yutpatyanta hetvaha rajasotpadhyate vishwamanyonyam vividham jagat. The cause of creation, maintenance, and destruction are the three modes of nature, namely goodness, passion, and ignorance. In particular, the mode of passion creates this universe and through sexual combination causes it to become full of variety. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Vividham Jagat. Variety, like we see so much variety in this universe. Hmm? त्यजिसा चोदिता मेघा वर्षत्यनम्बुनि सर्वतः प्रजास्तेरेव सिद्ध्यन्ति महेन्द्रः किं करिष्यति. Impelled by the material mode of passion, the clouds pour down their rain everywhere, and by this rain, all creatures gain their sustenance. What has the great Indra to do with this arrangement? Right? So, what Krishna is trying to convince Nanda Baba, like Lord Indra actually has nothing to do with all this, right? It's all about Satogun, Rajagun, Tamagun, and the laws of karma, and so on and so forth. Hmm? Mayur?
Nanah Puro Janpada Na Gramo Na Gruha Vayam Vano Kasastat Nityam Vana Shaila Nivasina. My dear father, our home is not in the cities or towns or villages. Being forest dwellers, we always live in the forest and on the hills. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Tasmad gavam Brahnan Madresh Char Bhyatam Makha Ya Indriya Gasbharastaryam Sadhyatam Makha. Therefore, may a sacrifice for the pleasure of the cows, the Brahmanas, and Govardhan Hill begin with all the paraphernalia collected for worshipping Indra. Let this sacrifice be performed instead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Lord Shri Krishna is saying, why not we worship the Govardhan hill instead of worshipping Lord Indra? Pachantam vividha paka सुपान्ता है पायसादय है संयावापु पशत कुल्य सर्वदोहश्च गृहताम. Let many different kinds of food be cooked, from sweet rice to vegetable soups. Many kinds of fancy cakes, both baked and fried, should be prepared, and all the available milk products should be taken for this sacrifice. Yeah, sacrifice, praying the Govardhan Puja. It says the word soup indicates that broth and also liquid vegetables. Thus, to celebrate the Govardhan Puja, Lord Krishna called for hot preparations such as soup, cold preparations like sweet rice, and all types of milk products. Well,
हुयन्तम् अग्नः संयोग ब्राह्मणार् ब्रह्म वेदेभ्य अनाम बहुगुणाम तेभ्यो देयाम वो धनु. The Brahmins who are learned in the Vedic mantras must properly invoke the sacrificial fires. Then you should feed the priests with nicely prepared food and reward them with cows and other gifts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. This is what Lord Krishna is saying to Nanda Baba. Hare Krishna, Rinaji.
Navya. अन्ये अभ्यश्चराश्चाण्डालपतितेभ्यो यथार्हतः यवसं च गवां दत्त्वा गिरये दीयतां बलिः. After giving the appropriate food to everyone else, including such fallen souls as dogs and dog eaters, you should give grass to the cows and then present your respectful offerings to Govardhan Hill. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. स्वलंकृता भुक्तवन्तः स्वनुलिप्ता है सुहाससः प्रदक्षिणां च कुरुत गो विप्रानल पर्वतान. After everyone has eaten to his satisfaction, you should all dress and decorate yourselves handsomely, smear your bodies with sandalwood paste, and then circumambulate the cows, the Brahmans, the sacrificial fires, and Govardhan Hill. Shiva Prabhu.
Etnamam matam tat kriyatam yadi rochate ayam go brahmanadi nam maham cha daito makha. This is my idea, O Father, and you may carry it out if it appeals to you. Such a sacrifice will be very dear to the cows, the Brahmanas, and Govardhan Hill, and also to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is saying this?
Krishna.
Yeah. Lord Krishna is saying this to Nanda Baba, right?
Yeah.
That instead of doing all these preparations for Lord Indra, why don't you do it for the benefit of Govardhan Hill, and that will make everyone happy. Mayur?
Shri Sukha Uvacha Kalatmana Bhagavata Shakradarp Jigyamsaya Proktam Nismaya Nandaya Sadav Sadva Agranta Tadvacha. Sukhdev Goswami said, Lord Krishna, who is himself powerful time, desired to destroy the false pride of Lord Indra. When Nand and the other senior men of Vrindavan heard Sri Krishna's statement, they accepted his words as proper. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Sukhdev Goswami is saying, and he's saying to whom?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Yeah, Parikshit Maharaj, right? Sukhdev Goswami is reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, and he's telling him that Lord Krishna, who is himself powerful time, right? This Kal is the time. Kal is the extension of Lord Sri Krishna himself. The time which we are seeing, right, is an extension, manifestation of Lord Sri Krishna himself. Kal Atmana Bhagavata, right? He himself is the powerful time, and he desired to destroy the false pride of Lord Indra. And then, of course, everyone agreed with Lord Shri Krishna. Rinaji?
तथा च व्यदधु सर्वं यथाह मधुसूदनः वाचयित्वा स्वस्त्यन्नं तद्रद्रव्येण गिरिद्विजान् उपहृत्य बलीन् सम्यगादृता एव सं गवां गोधनानि पुरस्कृत्य गिरिं चक्रुः प्रदक्षिणम्. The cowherd community then did all that Madhusudan had suggested. They arranged for the Brahmanas to recite the auspicious Vedic mantras, and using the paraphernalia that had been intended for Indra's sacrifice, they presented offerings to Govardhan Hill and the Brahmanas with reverential respect. They also gave grass to the cows. Then, placing the cows, bulls, and calves in front of them, they circumambulated Govardhana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, they circumambulated Govardhan. Yeah. The Giriraj Govardhan Parvat is still there after 5,000 years, right? I think, I don't know if you probably all of you have been to Vrindavan, right? Most. Or,
I have been to Vrindavan, but as a child.
okay. Yeah. So Giriraj Parvat, right? So you will still see, like, anytime you go, there's a Govardhan Parvat and people are doing the parikrama. It's around 21 kilometers, actually. So it's around 21 kilometers. If you go to Vrindavan, anytime you get a chance, then half of it is in the city now if you go around, but then half of it is near the Govardhan Hill, of course, right? So it's pretty nice. It's called Giriraji Parikrama. And a lot of people go very regularly, like people who live in the nearby areas or nearby the states. They generally go, like some people go once a week, once a month, whatever. Some people do this Dandavat Parikrama of Govardhan, like by doing the pranam, like,
Wow.
Dandavat Parikrama, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
All
right.
fours.
Yeah. So, okay. अन्नास्यन्दुदुक्तानि ते चारुह्य स्वलङ्कृता गोप्यश्च कृष्णवीर्याणि गायन्तः स्वद्विजाशिष. As the beautifully ornamented cowherd ladies followed along, riding on wagons drawn by oxen, they sang the glories of Lord Krishna, and their songs mingled with the Brahmins' chanting of benedictions. Shiva Prabhu.
Krishna Stvan Yatmam Rupam Gop Vishram Bhanam Gataha Shalo Asmiti Bruvan Bhuri Bali Madad Brihadvipaha. Krishna then assumed an unprecedented, huge form to instill faith in the cowherd men, declaring, I am Govardhan mountain. He ate the abundant offerings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, the Lord Krishna himself gets into the Govardhan Parvat. He declares he is the Govardhan Parvat. Yeah, Krishnastva Shvantayam. Yeah, Rupam. He gets the huge form to instill faith in all in the Gwal and everyone else, right? And then he eats all these offerings. All the offerings which were done to Govardhan Parvat is eaten by Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah. Nice purport. Let's read this, Mayur.
Yeah. In chapter 24 of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Srila Prabhupada writes, when everything was complete, Krishna assumed a great transcendental form and declared to the inhabitants of Vrindavan that he was himself Govardhan Hill in order to convince the devotees that Govardhan Hill and Krishna himself are identical. Then Krishna began to eat all the food offered there. The identity of Krishna and Govardhan Hill is still honored, and great devotees take rocks from Govardhan Hill and worship them exactly as they worship the deity of Krishna in temples. The followers of Krishna consciousness movement may therefore collect small rocks or pebbles from Govardhan Hill and worship them at home because this worship is as good as deity worship. Lord Krishna had induced the residents of Vrindavan to assume a significant risk on his behalf. He convinced them to neglect a sacrifice to what is, after all, the powerful government of the universe and to worship a hill called Govardhan instead. The cowherd community did all this simply out of love for Krishna, and now to convince them that their decision was correct, Lord Krishna appeared in an unprecedented, huge transcendental form and demonstrated that he himself was Govardhan Hill. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so we still we always pray to the Govardhan Hill. Actually, if you see, you see here, you have the Radhe Krishna Bhagwan and then you have the Giriraj Govardhan. Yeah, you see that? Right?
Yes.
Giri Govardhan. So we always pray to Giri Govardhan because Lord Krishna himself has taken that form. He got into that form, right? Rinaji?
तस्मै नमो व्रजजने सहचक्र आत्मानने आत्मा आत्मनात्मने अहो पश्यत शैलोऽसो रूपी नो अनुग्रहं व्यधात्. Together with the people of Vraj, the Lord bowed down to this form of Govardhan Hill, thus in effect offering obeisances to himself. Then he said, "Just see how this hill has appeared in person and bestowed mercy upon us." Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, then Tasme Namo Vrajijane, right? And then what is mentioned is Sahachakra Atman Atmane. Lord Krishna is going down to the Govardhan Hill, right? Essentially saying he's going down to this form of Govardhan Hill, thus in effect offering obeisances to himself. But that is for everyone else to see how everyone can bow down to Govardhan Hill. Yeah? Hare Krishna Tarun.
हरे कृष्णा का जैन मैं अभी भी ड्राइव कर रहा हूँ तो पढ़ नहीं सकता बट सुन सकता हूँ अभी थोड़ी देर 10 मिनट में पहुंच जाऊंगा घर.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Shiva Prabhu.
It is clear from this verse that Lord Krishna had expanded himself and was appearing in his normal form among the festival goers of Vrindavan while simultaneously manifesting himself as the great form of Govardhan Hill. Thus, in his form as a child, Krishna led the residents of Vrindavan in bowing down to his new incarnation as Govardhan Hill, and to all he pointed out the great mercy bestowed by this divine form of Govardhan. Lord Krishna's amazing transcendental activities were certainly in keeping with the festive atmosphere. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Esho janito martyane kamarupi vanokasa hanti rashme namashyamaha sharmane atmano gavam. This Govardhan Hill, assuming any form he wishes, will kill any residents of the forest who neglect him. Therefore, let us pay our obeisances to him for the safety of ourselves and our cows, is what Lord Krishna is asking everyone to do. Yeah. Rinaji?
त्यत्रे गोद्विजमुखं वासुदेव प्रचोदिता यथा विधायते गोपा सह कृष्णा व्रजम ययो. The members of the cowherd community, having thus been inspired by Lord Vasudeva to properly execute the sacrifice to Govardhan Hill, the cows and the brahmanas returned with Lord Krishna to their village, Vraja. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so after doing the sacrifice, they got back. So although the Govardhan Puja was performed in a blissful and successful way, the matter was hardly finished. Lord Indra is, after all, tremendously powerful, and he received the news of the Govardhan sacrifice with burning anger. What in short will be described in the following chapter. So we all know what happened in the Govardhan Hill, But before that, all the Vrindavan Vasis goes and pray to Govardhan hill. Bolo Giri Govardhan ki.
Jai.
And this ends the purport of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 24th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Worshipping Govardhan Hill. Or Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
So we have 25th chapter. I think we should continue reading, right? Have 10 more minutes. So this is what, again, Lord Krishna lives Govardhan Hill. So first they go and worship, and this is when Lord Krishna himself is lifting the Govardhan Hill. So we'll continue reading this. Shiva Prabhu.
Shri Shukra Vacha Indrastadatmanaha Pujam Vigyaya Vihatam Nrapa Gopabhya Krishna Nathebhyo Nanda Dibhyash Kopaha. Sukadev Goswami said, My dear King Parikshit, when Indra understood that his sacrifice had been put aside, he became furious with Nanda Maharaj and other Kahat men who were accepting Krishna as their Lord. Hare Krishna.
Well,
Ganam Samvatrakam Nam Nama Meghanam Chantakarinam Indra Prachodayat Krudho Vakyam where is that? Yeah. Vakyam Hayeshmanyuta. Angry Indra sent forth the clouds of universal destruction known as Samvarta. Imagining him the supreme controller, he spoke as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Rinaji?
O Srimad Mahatmyam Gopanam Khananokasam Krishnam Martyamu Pashritya Ye Chakrurdeva Helanam. Indra said, Just see how these cowherd men living in the forest have become so greatly intoxicated by their prosperity. They have surrendered to an ordinary human being, Krishna, and thus they have offended the gods. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is saying this? Lord Indra, yeah? So, Yatha Dideha Karmamaye Kartu Bhinana Mano Nibhe Vidyaman Vikshikim Hitva Titirshanti Bhavanavam. Their taking shelter of Krishna is just like the foolish attempt of man who abandon transcendental knowledge of the self and instead try to cross over the great ocean of material existence in the false boats of fruitive ritual sacrifices. Is what Lord Indra is saying. Yeah. Hare Krishna Prem sir.
Hare Krishna Gajan bhai. Vachalam balisham stabmagyam pandit maninam Krishnam mritya mupashitya gopa me chakru priyam. These coward men have acted inimically towards me by taking shelter of this ordinary human being, Krishna, who thinks himself very wise, but who is simply a foolish, arrogant, over-talkative child. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, this is what Lord Indra is saying because Lord Krishna stopped everyone to do the worship of Indra, but instead they went and they worshipped Govardhan hill. Yeah. So that's why Lord Indra is not happy. Shiva Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Esam Shriya Valipta Nam Krishne Nadma Pitatmanam Dhunut Shrimadastabham Pashunayat Shadsham. To the clouds of destruction, King Indra said, The prosperity of these people has made them mad with pride, and their arrogance is backed up by Krishna. Now go and remove their pride and bring their animals to destruction. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Lord Indra is ordering all the clouds to go and start raining. Mayur?
Aham Chairavatam Nagamarohyanuvraje Vrajam Marudganer Mahavigir Nandagoshta Jigyamasya. I will follow you to Vraj, riding on my elephant Aravat, and taking with me the swift and powerful wind gods to decimate the cowherd village of Nand Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
You asked me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sri Shuk Uvaj. Itham Magvata Gyapta Mega Nirmukta Bandhana Nand Gokul Masare Pidiyama Surojasa. Sukdev Goswami said, on Indra's order, the clouds of universal destruction, released untimely from their bonds, went to the cowherd pastures of Nanda Maharaj. There they began to torment the inhabitants by powerfully pouring down torrents of rain upon them. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prem?
Vidyotmana Vidyut Buddhi Stanta Stan Yutnubhi Triva Maru Numnam Rashushu Jal Sharkara. Propelled by the fearsome wind gods, the clouds blazed with lightning bolts and roared with thunder as they hurled down hailstones. Hare Krishna.
Stuna Stula Varsadhara Muchastvabhishvabhikshanah Jalogeha Lavemana Gurna Drishat Natam Natam. As the clouds released torrents of rain as thick as massive columns, the earth was submerged in the flood, and the high ground could no longer be distinguished from low. Shiva Prabhu?
Yes. Atyasarati vaten pashvo jatve panaha gopa gopashyach sitarta govindam sharanam yugaha. The cows and other animals shivering from the excessive rain and wind, and the cowherd men and ladies pained by the cold, all approached Lord Govinda for shelter. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So when excessive rain and wind, everything is happening, Gopascha Shitartha, yeah, with the, of course, the cold, the Gopa and Gopascha, what they did, Govindam Sharanam Yayuga. Yeah, they approached Lord Govinda for shelter. Mayur?
Shira Sutancha Kayen Pracha Deasara Pidita Vipamana Bhagavata Pada Mul Mupayayo. Trembling from the distress brought about by the severe rainfall and trying to cover their heads and calves with their own bodies, the cows approached the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Parinaji?
Krishna Mahabhag Tvannatham Gokulam Prabhu Traturmahasi Devannah Kupitad Bhaktavatsalaha. The cowherd men and women addressed the Lord. Krishna, Krishna, O most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees. Please save us also. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, they are saying Bhakta Vatsala hai. You are so affectionate for your devotees. So please save everyone. Yeah. Says that at the time of Lord Krishna's birth, Garg Muni had predicted Annena Sarva Durgani Yuyam Anjas Tarishyatha. By his grace, you will easily cross beyond all difficulties. The residents of Vrindavan were confident that in such a great emergency, Lord Sri Narayan would empower Krishna to protect them. They accepted Krishna as everything, and Krishna reciprocated their love. Okay.
शीला वर्ष तिवान में तेन अन्य मानव चेतनम निरीक्ष भगवान मैंने कुपितेन्द्र कृत हरि. Seeing the inhabitants of his Gokul rendered practically unconscious by the onslaught of hail and blasting wind, the Supreme Lord Hari understood that this was the work of angry Indra. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Apatvarvatya yulbanam vashmativatam shilamyam swayage vihate asma bhirindro nashaya varshati. Shri Krishna said to himself, because we have stopped his sacrifice, Indra has caused this unusually fierce, unseasonable rain together with terrible winds and hail. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Well,
तत्र प्रतिविधिं सम्यगात्मयोगेन साध्यये लोकेशमानिनं मयुद्य धन्यसे श्रीमदं तमः. By my mystic power, I will completely counteract this disturbance caused by Indra. Demigods like Indra are proud of their opulence, and out of foolishness, they falsely consider themselves the Lord of the universe. I will now destroy such ignorance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tinaji?
न हि सद्भावयुक्तानां सुराणामीश विस्मयः मत्तो वसतां मानभङ्गः प्रशमायोपकल्पते. Since the demigods are endowed with the mood of goodness, the false pride of considering oneself the Lord should certainly not affect them. When I break the false prestige of those bereft of goodness, my purpose is to bring them relief. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nice purport. Let's read this. Prem.
The demigods are supposed to be Sadbhav Yukt, endowed with spiritual existence, since they are depicted servants of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.24, it is stated, Brahmar Panam Brahma Haver Brahma Gano Brahmana Hutam Brahmaiv Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. That which is truly offered to the Lord becomes spiritualized. The demigods engage in the devotional service of the Lord by managing various departments of cosmic administration. Therefore, as demigods or as servants of the Lord, their existence is pure, sadbhav. When the demigods fail to live up to the high position given them by the Lord and deviate from proper behavior, they are not acting as demigods, but rather as conditioned souls. Hare Krishna.
You?
Mana, or false prestige, is certainly an anxiety ridden burden for the conditioned soul. A falsely proud person is not truly peaceful or satisfied because his understanding of himself is false and inflated. When a servant of the Lord becomes asat or irreligious, the Lord saves him from impiety by breaking the false prestige that has led him to be offensive or sinful. As stated by the Lord himself, Yashyaham anugrah nami harshye tad dhanam sanya. I give my blessings to a person by taking away his so-called opulence. Of course, the advanced stage of devotional service to the Lord, as described by Rupa Goswami, is Yukta Vairagya, utilizing the opulence of this world to execute the Lord's mission. Obviously, the things of this world can be used wonderfully to spread the glories of God and to create a godly society. And a more advanced devotee will not be seduced by material paraphernalia, but will dutifully and honestly engage it solely for the purpose of pleasure of the Lord. In this particular case, Lord Indra forgot that he was a humble servant of God, and Lord Krishna therefore arranged to bring this bewildered demigod to his senses. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Shiva Prabhu?
Yeah. Tas manmacharnam goshtham mannatham mat parigraham gopyo swat mayogen soyam me vrat ahitaha. I must therefore protect the cowherd communities by my transcendental potency, for I am their shelter, I am their master, and during indeed they are my own family. After all, I have taken a vow to protect my devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so I am me vrat ahitah. He has taken a vow. That's why Lord Krishna always protects his devotees. Let's read one more shlok. Reenaji?
इत्युक्त्वा इत्युक्त्वैकेन हस्तेन कृत्वा गोवर्धनाचलं दधार लीलया विष्णुश्चत्राकमिव बालकः. Having said this, Lord Krishna, who is Vishnu himself, picked up Govardhan hill with one hand and held it aloft just as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so basically, Lord Krishna is the Vishnu himself. Yeah, Govardhan Achalam, like still on Hastena Kritva, Ekena Hastena Kritva, right? On one hand, he was holding the Govardhan hill. Having said this, Lord Krishna, who is Vishnu himself, picked up Govardhan hill with one hand and held it aloft just as easily as a child holds up a mushroom. Yeah. So actually, we'll just pause here. He keeps it for 7 days. Yeah. We'll continue to read about this. But I think we'll pause here. It's about time. But very nice reading, right? Of the Govardhan hill lifting by Lord Shri Krishna. When we go to Vrindavan, we should do the circumvallate, right? The circumvallate, the parikrama of Govardhan Parvaat. So we'll hear a 5-minute bhajan and then pause. बोलो गिरिराज धरन की
Jai.
Jai.
श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय. So actually in this chanting also you would have seen Giriraj Parvat actually few times. I don't know if you noticed that. But few times the Giriraj Parvat was there. So I think the holiday season is starting. So all Christmas time and New Year and everything else and traveling and everything. So I think we'll pause now. Yeah. And then I'm traveling to India also in January. So I think we'll pause till end of January actually. So there's again a like long pause for us starting, I mean after this week. So we'll again see you in February first week, I think. Yeah.
It's a very long break.
Yeah, this one is a long break. Yeah, I'm coming back end of January almost. Like it's a whole travel. So yeah.
When are you going?
Hmm?
कब जा रहे हैं?
We are going to California this week, and then end of the month we are going to India.
अच्छा इसी से नहीं जा रहे हैं तो.
And then yeah, plans to go to Vietnam. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll go to Vrindavan or not. We'll see. Then we can go to Giriraj Parvat. We'll see how everything works out. But yeah, just almost. And then I'm back to California, actually, San Francisco. Then from there. So that's why it's like almost end of the month, January. But we'll start February first week again.
Sure.
We'll resume from Giriraj Parvat when Lord Krishna has picked up, and then go from there. Meanwhile, enjoy all your vacation, holidays, Happy New Year thing, and then
Thank you.
Right.
see.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Enjoy your
Krishna.
travel.
Hare,
Keep us
Hare
updated.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Good you're
Hare
able to
Krishna.
travel, Gajan.
Hmm?
Good you're able to travel, go to all the places you want to go.
Yeah, I know. At least spend some time now. At least get away from the cold. Actually, that's what
Yeah.
I'm.
Yeah. Good.
Cannot bear the cold anymore. Yeah. So,
Yeah. No, good time to go.
yeah. All right. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Bhaiya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye.